If I was gonna make a business about literally anything, I would probably just make a business about journals for guys, specifically younger guys. I feel like journaling or writing things down in general is left for girls and like super old people. And yet, I think it's still a super valuable thing that everyone should be doing. And I think this boils down to like every fact of life. If you look at your favorite shows, video games, anything, there's a lot of recording and planning and systems that have to go into it that rely on writing things down. And I feel like for most guys, once you get out of school, you stop writing. You don't need to take notes anymore. And most guys in school don't even take great notes. I mean, look at the girls' notes in school, highlighted multiple different colors compared to guys. My handwriting itself is basically illegible. So this video, I just want to talk about the different types of ways that you can write things down that are beneficial to you, and then also why I think that's important. Let's start with something basic, a classic whiteboard. On my whiteboard, I have a whole bunch of like YouTube goals, school goals, and just things I need to have on the back of my mind. This is literally a to-do list that you get to cross off. Writing things down makes you more likely to actually do them, and also feel more accomplished when you get to say you did it. And finally, it reminds you to do it. I know, crazy concept.
Do it! Just do it!
And I love the whiteboard. You can put a quote on there, you can put your goals on there. It's just a daily reminder, and it's just out in front of you all the time. It's really useful. I also have all of these journals. They all have their own specific purpose, which I'm going to get into right now. We're going to start with the first one. Nice and girly. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I think if I was going to start a business, I would just make journals for dudes. I got this journal from my mom because she's super into journaling, and so she just got so many that she's like, I don't need this. Do you want a journal? I was like, yeah, I need to write stuff down. So this is my like before bedtime. All right, what's been going on in my life? Just a little daily jot down, and that's what I thought writing was about. Just like journaling what happened in the day. And I still enjoy that, but I don't think it's necessarily the most important thing. And as I'm going to go into, I found other important stuff that is way more useful when you write it down. Number 2. This was a gift from my mom as well. Shout out my mom. Shout out my mom. If you notice, there's googly eyes on it. This was like a craft that she got, and I almost ripped the eyes out, but I didn't because I love my mom and I can't just be ruining her art. But now I have 2 journals. What is this one for? This one is a morning journal or like a daily goals journal. I typically write in it at night a lot, which was not the point. The point was to wake up in the morning and write down my goals, but it's still like, hey, to-dos, goals. Let's go. Gotta get my head on right, gotta get shit done. A different type of writing from the first journal, which was just like, hey, this is what's going on in my life. And I think this one is more useful, but like with the whiteboard that we had earlier, if you want to use a whiteboard to talk about your daily goals or whatever, you might not need this, but I really like it. I think it's important, all right? Write down your goals. You know, don't let your dreams become dreams. Don't let your goals become dreams either. Make them become accomplishments. Now we're on to one that super helped me, and it's ideas. This is my idea book. I got a VidCon Now book from my college, actually, like a social media class just handed this out, and I put literally all my YouTube video ideas in this journal, and I can just jot down everything that I want to work on, incorporate topics I want to cover, stuff like that. And then if I have a big list of stuff I can do, I can flip the page and go in depth on one idea. And something I just started doing with this journal is when I'm editing a video, I'm going through it, I think it looks great. All right, last couple pass throughs, I will watch the whole thing, probably in double speed, and I will have this journal open and I will write all the edits that I need to do. So instead of like just watching it, edit, watch the whole thing, write down all the edits I need to make, and then do it all at once. literally just writing down stuff during the process, super useful. A wittable wife hack, dude. Get on it. Write some processes down for stuff that you do every day. It'll make doing those things a lot easier. This one's super basic, but just literal scratch paper is super useful. This one, I'm just like delirious in bed, and I think like, hey, I have this crazy idea for a video. Don't have like this journal right next to me. Whatever. What do I do? Scrap paper, bro. It's peak. It's super useful. It's awesome, and I highly recommend just like literally, you don't need any of this stuff. All you need is scratch paper and to constantly be jotting down things, and I think you're gonna be better. Like, trust me, constantly jot stuff down. You will be better just in every sense of the way. This next journal that I'm gonna talk about is one that I haven't written in yet, but I want to. I actually want something nicer than what I have. This is a field journal or a field notebook. I got this just from a company that was visiting my college and they were handing it out. They actually had beanies and these for free, and I was too nervous to ask for a beanie, so I grabbed this, but I also like having a pocket journal as well. One of my good friends that I worked with over the summer had like a pocket daily journal, and it was like he would put gratitude in there, he would put ideas in there, just always having something around you that you can always write in. Not only is it really cool, in my opinion, but also super useful. You live a day that is full of interactions, full of really cool stuff, funny moments, yada yada yada, good conversations, and you can probably remember like 2 of them every day. But if you have a journal and you write down important things, or maybe even just a list of things you need to do once they're given to you, super useful. And also, I think it's kind of a flex to be like, yeah, got my pocket journal, jot stuff down. I think it's cool. The final one I have to show you guys is literally just a sketchbook. I think it's fun to like sketch things. The hardest part about sketching things and journaling, in my opinion, is worrying if whatever you're doing is like actually worth committing to paper. Like, that's just a stupid sketch. And I think you need to get over it. Like, if we look at my first journal that my mom gave me, it's literally like velvet and like gold and stuff, very girly. Like, literally, the perfect journal is probably just a black book that you can just write whatever you want in there and not really worry about if it's good or not because it's for you. Journaling is kind of this paradox where they can simultaneously help you get ideas out of your head and also have ideas stick in your head. If you're laying in bed and you can't fall asleep, you have all these ideas in your brain, you're thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow, you have a project you have to present, you have a video idea that you want to write down. That was one specific to me, but you have like just a project that you're working on, you have someone you want to talk about, a family member you're thinking about. If you write it down, it like releases it from your brain, puts it on paper, and it kind of frees you. If there's something you need to get done, you can also write it in a journal, and then it's committed to paper where you can look at it later and you can remember it. So now you don't need to be worried about forgetting something important or influential or innovative that you've thought of. And at the same time, if something is keeping you distracted, keeping you awake, keeping you from living in the moment, and you write it down, it kind of frees it from your mind because now it's physically somewhere that you can go back to. You don't need to think about it constantly. That's like the duality, insane superpower of writing stuff down. And literally, it's not about journaling, it's not about keeping a diary, it's not about any of this stuff. You don't need to do all these things that I'm bringing up. It's literally just write shit down, and I guarantee it, you'll be better off for it. The final type of like journaling or writing things down is Google Docs. Super useful. You can literally just type into Google DOCS docs, and you will get a page that you can write anything you want. You can type stuff down, and then there's no pressure about if it looks good or what you're writing is valid because it's literally just megabytes on the internet. Like, it doesn't matter. And then you can plan out, structure, create a system about all these thoughts. You can brainstorm so easily on Google Docs. It is a highly, highly good tool to use for all of my videos. I do a brainstorm for the title, brainstorm for the themes I want to cover. I'll even post the thumbnail for the video that I like, and I'll put it as like on top so it's visually appealing, and then just a brainstorm, and then maybe even a full script. And then you can tweak it and show it to people. Google Docs is an extremely, extremely good form of just writing stuff down. And again, while this is kind of obvious information, I can guarantee that most people aren't documenting things, aren't writing things down, aren't keeping a daily journal, aren't making daily goals where you're physically writing things down. And it's hard for me to even do it every day. So I just wanted to get it out there, especially for young dudes that clearly struggle with mental health, like not like you specifically or me specifically, but just like just in general. It's been a thing for the last couple of years. Like dudes' mental health is like bad. Literally, start writing stuff down. Start getting creative. You know, start coming up with ideas to make your life better and then just write them down, commit to them, brainstorm, workshop. All this stuff just comes from like picking up a pen and paper instead of letting it fester in your brain. Classically, nobody is supposed to be bottling things up. Why would you bottle up your ideas and your thoughts and get them out of your brain onto some paper and maybe make something of them, or at least use them to push you to be better?